Hello everyone, this is Josh from Riscos Wrenches, and in this video we're going to be doing one final video with our 1964 Chevy Chevelle. I believe it's going to be the last final video because there's a guy coming to look at it in a couple hours to buy it. Now, it's not this car's fault I'm getting rid of it, but I've never really had my heart in this car. This car is awesome. It's a four-door. I love old school four doors. It's super clean. The frame's great. I've got a bunch of parts for it. You know, it's going to be a super cool old hot rod, but I've always had a soft spot for a very certain car that I grew up with, and my brother had one. I had a buddy's dad who had one, and then I had one, and I never really got to live out the fantasy of having my own because I had to move before then, and we had to sell it because it wasn't in running condition. So I'm not going to tell you guys what that car is because you will see it in an upcoming video whenever I buy it. But hopefully the guy who's coming by today is going to pick this thing up so I can get it out of my driveway, have some money to go pick up the car of my dreams. But there are a few things we still need to do to this thing to get it ready to go. First, I've got to clean my tools and any parts that aren't going with it. I originally had this thing listed as with basically all the parts I've ever had for it, but the car I'm buying needs a few of those parts, so I lowered the price, removed those parts from the listing, and I have to pull them out of here so I can save them from the car we're going to be building up. And hopefully kill some of these wasps. There was a wasp nest in here, and I thought I killed all of them, but there's a couple flying around still. But without me yapping anymore, let's get into it here. We're going to start with the engine bay, clean my tools and stuff out of the engine bay, then we'll move to the interior, then we'll move to the trunk, and then maybe throw some tires on it. Now, there isn't much up here I need to bring out. Oh, there's a wasp right there that I'm about to kill. Yeah, I spent like 20 minutes yesterday spraying. Oh, great. Spraying wasps and everything in this thing. Haha, die. Die. It's been a long time spraying wasps in this thing yesterday because there was a nest in this headlight bucket here, but I'm pretty sure I got all of them. That was the last straggler, I hope. But I've got like a wire brush in here, bungee cord. The coil can stay with it. That coil's junk anyways. Don't think anything else is in here that I really need. Another thing I really have to do is I have to clean the underside of this thing because I have so many tools and crap just laying underneath this car that I knew I was going to use, like my crawler, my jack stands, things like that. So let's move on to the interior now and pull some stuff out of there. Actually, I lied. We're going to pull some stuff out of the underside here. Ever since the last time you guys saw this thing, I have cracked the old drums off of here that were completely locked up and completely rusted to the hub. I actually had to, beat the ever-living crap out of them to get them out. I tried to just crack it like me and my buddy did, picking up an old truck of his that had a locked-up drum. We cracked the drum. It spun freely. These things were, like, welded to the drum. So I actually had to completely and utterly destroy the drums to get them off. So this thing will somewhat steer. The rear end is still locked up, but at least the front tires will both steer so we can load it onto a trailer a little bit easier. So let me put this in the scrap pile, wherever that is. There's another really loud truck. I've got my 5-gallon boat jug that I was trying to start this thing off of. Oh, my goodness. Got tires. I've got a bunch of old random crap under here. This old pan, the ancient pan that was the carburetor cover for the old Camaro. Might keep that just for a little keepsake. It's still good, right? I can. Crap got on me. This is going in the scrap pile now. I don't want it anymore. My implement of hammerage that I use to snap the drums off is my giant splitting axe, and it worked good. It was great. I had a lot of fun. Should have recorded it. And I've got to kind of, sort of, hopefully, put air in these tires. Now, they're still on the bead, so I have hope they might actually hold a little bit of air and be good enough to roll this thing up onto a trailer, but I've looked everywhere, and there's not even a date code on these things. So these things are at least, like, pre-90s. I think in, it was 95 or 2000 that they made date codes mandatory on tires. So these things are long before then, which adds up to the fact that it was parked in 91. So these things, in the very best case scenario, like it had brand new tires on it when it was parked in 81, they're 45 years old. In the realistic case scenario, they're probably 3, 4, 5 years old tires. You know, people run tires for plenty of years. I think the recommended is after like 5 or 7 years you replace them. So these things could be like 50 years old, and that wouldn't surprise me at all. So we're going to try to air these things up and then maybe throw them on the front just so, like I said, I can get it off the jack stands and everything like that, and it can roll up onto a trailer. All right. Moment of truth. These tires are actually going to air up at all. I sort of have my doubts. Like I said, they're still on the bead, but they're significantly older than I am. So let's see what happens. Oh my Lord. Those are airing up. Oh, they're leaking horribly. I can see all the air leaking almost immediately back out of them. All right, I'm curious now. We had that other one air up. Let's see if this back one will air up. Ugh. This one, I have even more doubts about because it's significantly worse. Oh my goodness. No. The valve stem's leaking real bad on this one. Oh, the valve stem's broken. So this one would have aired up if the valve stem wasn't broken. This one looks promising. Ugh. I think it might even still have some air in it. Alright, time to do the same thing to the other side. Clean up junk. See what tires hold air. Yeah, drum. Beautiful. Can stay original right over there. Where's the valve stems? Right inside all the rocks and everything. That's a good sign. It's gonna take air. What is with these old tires, man? It's holding air beautifully. It's going right up. It doesn't matter that half the bead's packed in dirt and rocks and everything. It's gonna take air. Let's see what the see if this other one over here on the back that's super bald. See if this one holds any air. We're 2 out of 3 right now. We could be 3 out of 4 here. Let's see. All right, well, now that we know we have at least 4 tires that'll at least get it loaded onto a trailer, let's clean out the interior. Oh yeah. Thankfully, there's not a lot to clean out in here. Most of the stuff can just stay with it. It can go bye-byes. Hey, I got a few tools in here I want to make sure I grab, and that's it. I have retrieved what I wanted. A light, the old Pepsi can, and a socket. That was worth it. Now it's time for the trunk. I will say that there's 3 different master cylinders in here. There's the one from that Dodge Dakota that I saved, the one from the Camaro, and the one from the Silverado. I'm going to save the one from the Silverado because I'll give you guys a little bit of a hint here on what our next project is. It's a GM product with this style of a master cylinder on it. Pretty close. It's within 10 years of the Silverado, I'll say that. You guys who know the Silverado year can start guessing here. And it's 2-door. I'll give you those hints. And most of you will probably call me an idiot for getting rid of my Chevelle and then buying it. But I have a soft spot for them, and I have an idea. Linkage bracket off the Camaro frame from right here. I need to pop that guy off because I need that. Here we go, there's my shifter assembly. That's the last bit I need off of this frame. Now it goes bye-byes. Alright, well, I'm probably going to cut back to the guy just messaged me saying that he's cool being on YouTube, so I'll probably cut back to whenever he shows up and we're loading this thing up and all that stuff, and I'll see you guys then. I've never driven it, but hey, it's steered before.
There'll be one last hurrah.
Yeah, you'll get the last send off.
Yippee.
My point exactly.
drums that are falling apart and rubbing on the wheel.
Oh.
I know I was hearing that whenever I was hearing it, the drums rubbing on the wheel.
You want to turn it this way, Michael?
Yep.
Well, just like that, spot the Chevelle once sat, it's gone now. Like I said, kept that rear end, kept a few parts off of it for the car we will be getting, and you guys will see that hopefully next week. I texted the guy, I said, hey, my driveway is open, when can I come get it? And he said, I might be home tonight. So if he's home tonight, I'm gonna go up there and we're gonna get that car. And well, with all that being said, this was Josh from Risks Wrenches. Hope you guys are having a good one, and I'm happy that we got this spot cleared out. Don't get me wrong, I love that Chevelle. That was a super, super cool car, but this car that I'm getting has held a special spot in my heart. Like I said, I've had a bunch of family members that had one. I had one myself because, you know, I grew up around them. Thought, oh, I'll have one myself. Never even got it to run and drive. And then we had to sell it because we moved. So the thing has been kind of rubbing me for a long, long time. And I've been looking for one. And well, it's from, like I said, it's from the mid 80s, early 90s is the generation of it. And they have shot up in value like everything else from that generation. So I've kind of been priced out of the market for a halfway decent one that I can, you know, justify in my mind going, you know, this used to be a $300 car when I was growing up. I'm not going to pay $2,000 for one. But this one was a good enough price, and it's just the right amount of work to, you know, bring it on this channel, have fun with it, make it my own. And it's not too expensive. It has a clean title. So you guys will see that up and coming, hopefully either this weekend or next weekend. Like I said, this was Josh from Risks Wrenches. I hope you guys are having a great one. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell to see more stuff here on this channel, and be notified whenever we show you what new projects we're going to be getting here. Hope you guys are having a great day, night, week. Like I said, whatever it is. Hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bye-bye. I didn't want to be the guy that, you know, filmed random children without their consent. That'd probably put me on a watch list somewhere.
Mr. nicknames his private member Lazarus because he has risen from the dead.